So, having said that, that's my sort of remarks going forward for the next 12. I wanted to cover off in closing 3 things. And I'd ask you to think about this and provide input in the Q&A, product roadmap, wherever you think it's appropriate. Occupational health and safety. One theme you'll see coming out of the roadmap is our support for more accessibility options out of the product. To that end, is there any occupational health and safety advantage if MINCOR was to present a pop-up to the operator if it had detected the operator had been working continuously for 3 hours? Because it can do that. Simply say, can you go take a stretch break? Just think about it. And it sounds stupid and trite, but is there some advantage that you could then talk about, promote back through the organisation? Secondly, I'd really like you to think about how do we want to be measured, not Bates. How do I want to be measured in my department? How do I want to measure our performance? Because one of the things we absolutely want to work on is allowing you to do that. I'm not talking about Big Brother, I'm talking about healthy business metrics. The last thing I'd promote to you, this might take 5 minutes because I'm going to flick to just a couple of things on my computer, is I've been puzzling over how to bring the non-digital user into the system. The non-digital user, from my experience, is the Minister's office. We go through an electronic process and streamline it, and then we go to paper. And we go to paper to get that to generally the VIP signatory officers. And then there are a group of people in that office that use 19th century technology by way of pens and markups and send that back, and may not use the system, send that back. We don't have electronic signatures in this state yet at the moment, but we could. So in discussing this with some specific partners who are doing digital paper solutions, and I think I've waved this pen around for a while. This is a commercial product, Officeworks. Nothing special about it. The sort of the penny dropped in terms of how to maybe get the initial phase of that Minister's Office VIP area into the system. And it goes a bit like this. This is well-proven technology. There's nothing new in what I'm saying. It's running in the field. This stuff here is digital paper. It contains a set of dots on it. It's patented by a company called the Noto. You can go and look it up. And those dots basically allow you to describe a paper space of about 4.5 million square kilometres. So we only need a small section of that. It can be read by pens like this. It's not the only. The paper doesn't have to come from a provider. You can print that paper on a laser printer that can do 600 dpi. So you can actually have a template, if that's what your desire was, which would be a final draft template. So you could actually print final drafts on digital paper that looks like A4, because the dots are invisible, they're infrared readable. And actually send the paper-based transition from electronic to paper, send it to the office, and for about $140, but probably better in volume, you can buy these pens and have 6 of them in the Minister's office and have them mark it up. And I'll show you the effect of what that could do, because either by docking the pen or by buying the Bluetooth version, you can have all of those comments back in the system, marked up as an attachment in the MINCOR correspondence item in between 10 seconds to 10 minutes. Is that a way of catching the non-digital user? So I'll just give you a quick, and that concludes my remarks, a quick view of what that would look like. And nothing I've described is Star Trek. It's all running now in various forms. I must admit that most of those forms are forms-based entry. So the sort of companies that are using this are the people that have recognised A4 form factor is what my person needs to go on site and service the photocopier. And they've got job sheets printed up, tick and flick, this is what I did. And that stuff is literally going back over Bluetooth and back in the system within 20 seconds. So this is just a sample letter I've done. A sample letter I've done, which is our response. Okay? That's going back for final signature. This is a scanned version of that letter printed out on this digital paper. And the only reason I use this digital paper is I haven't actually purchased a patent space for us to use, but that can be purchased. It's simple. This then is a markup where someone has used this pen, and it has to be a special pen, not just any pen, but a digital pen, and has marked that up. So we can bring that back into the system and overlay that as an attachment. This particular pen goes just a step further. By doing the additional work and producing a viewer, you can do this. You can actually record their comments and play it back.
Please arrange for a statement to be referenced here that the Minister made early in October regarding the introduction of this.
What did he say?
For a statement
I'll just sit back.
to be referenced here that the Minister made early in October regarding the introduction of this.
Right. What did he say down here?
The links to Industry Association and reference the CEO of that group, who's also made some public announcements.
So, I'm not going to force these people into a digital solution because they're important. And, you know, okay, I'll work with the tools that they're comfortable with, which is paper and pen, and track them that way. And I guess that's what I'd like to be talking about and getting feedback from the field. Yeah, if we did that, we would be solving 0.1% of our problem or 15% of our problem, because the 0.1 might be what we're catching. It's those sorts of approaches and those sorts of technologies that I'd like to be looking at over the next 18 months. This sort of thing can be put together quite quickly. As I said, this is not Star Trek stuff. This is all mature technology. But I wouldn't do it alone. I'd do it with a partner who's been doing this for 15 years, and I think that's the key. So there's some specific skills I bring to bear. And they've got all the pen technology and all the paper solutions. They do a variety of give you 4,000 reams of pre-printed A4 looking paper, or set you up so that you can print that on your laser printers yourselves. I mean, another extension to this is just to go and buy iPhone technology and that style of machine and put the draft responses on that and send that to the office. But I guess what I'm recognising is some people just won't come at that. You know, they want to use old technology, and that works. You can bring them into the loop. So that is squarely in the category of how do we make this more efficient, and that's really the theme of the roadmap going forward for the next 12 months. That concludes my remarks. I'm going to hand back to Sam, back to John, to take us to the next segment. Any questions of me, or you can just grab me and fire those through the day at the discussions in the round.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for that.